Hey guys, it's April. I'm going to give it a few minutes for some people to show up. If nobody shows up, then I will postpone today's live. I'm going to go ahead and say congratulations. Well, let me just wait for another minute. I'm about 1 minute early, so I'll wait for a couple minutes and see if anybody comes in. And if not, then I'm going to announce the Patreon winners of the gift card and the Happy Mail. And if nobody shows for today's live, I know it was well, it's not really a short notice because it's the first Saturday at 1 o'clock every month. But I didn't post the link until today, and I don't post that until the day of because I don't want it shared because these videos are strictly for you guys. So, I see one joined me. Who's here? Hello, hello. Hey, I got a few people coming in. Yay! I was scared I was going to have to postpone today because nobody was coming. I'm glad some people showed. Who's here with us today? Can you guys hear me? No one is responding. Well, I've got a couple people here. I'm going to congratulate Linda Beach and Robin Simmons. Robin Simmons won the Happy Mail, and Linda Beach won the $20 gift card for the month of April. So, I just want to say congrats to you guys. I've already sent you a message, and I'm just waiting to hear back from Linda about which gift card she wants. And Robin, you'll get your Happy Mail in the mail sometime this week. I am not going on camera today, guys, because it's been one of those weeks. I've been up to the hospital yesterday for my uncle, and I just ran out of time. And I show I have 4 people watching, but I don't have anybody responding. Who's here, guys? If you're not logged into your YouTube, you won't have the chat availability. And this is a Patreon-only support file, so I need to know who's here because if you guys aren't Patreons, then I'm not going to give away all the details. Hey, Sharon. Yay, I'm glad you could make it. I have a couple people watching, but you're the only one that's responded so far. I was afraid I might have a couple of trolls because nobody was saying anything, but I'm glad you're here. I just announced the winners for the Happy Mail, Patreon Happy Mail was Robin Simmons, and the gift card was Linda Beach. This for the month of April. We don't do May until the first week of June. So, Sharon, today we're going to put together the mini shoe boxes that I made and customize them. These will hold a t-shirt. This one has a large t-shirt in it rolled up, and this one has an extra large in it rolled up. So they do fit, but a lot of people would like to use these for like birthday invitations or goodies for birthday parties. So we're going to kind of customize for that and show you guys how to customize the box. And we're going to cut one out together and put it together after we customize it. So let me go over to Design Space. I don't know if you opened up your file or not. Let me see what that file number. I posted it in the room on Facebook. So let me go over there real quick and make sure I grab the right link, just in case you don't have it. Oh, you got it? Great. Okay, then let me close that out. So go ahead and open that up. And because mine is a private file, just in case somebody gets the video, they can't open this design. So, great. Okay, this is the way yours is basically laid out. You can hide by going to your layers panel, the side up there, you don't want to cut it, and you can hide that optional lid. And choose the one that you want to make today. I'm going to show you how to customize this for a name in here, and I'm also going to show you how to customize this to make it look like a shoebox rather than the box like I had on the project camera. This is the solid lid, and this is the window lid. And I suggest if you're going to make any adjustments to this lid and change it up, that you duplicate it and hide one. Now, I've already done that, so I'm not going to do it. That way you always have a clean lid to work with, and you don't have to worry about making that square fit and everything fit again today. Okay, well, you can refer back to it. The link should work. Just don't share the link. It's Patreon only. Because I'm not doing a video to show everybody else how to put this box together and do this. This is strictly for you guys, for supporting me, because I thank every one of you for that each and every month. So, first let's go over, I am going to pull up my Sure Cuts a Lot and bring it over here. Because if you want to put a name in there, this really helps. And my Patreons get 1 SVG per month. If you need one, something simple I can do, I will do 1 a month for you. You just go to the back of the line. Right now I have nobody needing any SVG, but my Patreons can request that I make them 1 per month. And I believe if you're over $5, you can get 2 per month. I have to recheck that. I don't advertise that because if it gets backed up, I don't want everybody waiting on designs. They need it tomorrow and I can't get to it till next week. But if you need a name and you need a shadow layer or something like that, please just contact me, shoot me an email, we'll do that. And the way that I do that, and I'm just going to go ahead, since you're here, Sharon, and make your one with your name on it. How about that? I'm going to click the text, and I am going to come over here and look for my Samantha. That's always a pretty font for something like this. Here we go. And then I am going to click on my canvas, and I'm going to type the name. And then I'm going to click my selection tool. And I'm going to hold my shift key while I stretch it to make it a good size. And you can see that these are going to cut out of one another. But if I come up to my path and do union, then it's all one layer. And then I can right click, appearance, add a shadow layer. And now it has a shadow layer on it. And then I am going to right click it again And I'm going to add another shadow layer. Oops, that was wrong. Let me cancel that. You can't see my little pop-up over here, I don't believe, but I need to select the whole thing. If you don't select the whole thing, it won't pick it up like Design Space does. If you just catch a piece of it, you have to get the whole thing. And I want that second layer back there. Oops. Let me get back on my Shortcuts a lot. I accidentally closed it. I apologize. I do recommend Escal, Sharon, and I do have a link. I'll post that in the room. I just accidentally closed it on us. That again. This is just showing it without my grid, which is fine. I'm fine with that. Let me make this smaller so that I won't do that again. Okay, so I'm just going to click my text tool. I'm going to select my Samantha font. I am going to click on the canvas and type my name. I'm going to my selection tool over here on the top left. And then I am going to select everything. And I'm going to shift and stretch it so I can see it. I'm going to path and I'm going to union. Union in Shortcuts a lot is the same as weld in Design Space. Okay, now I'm going to select it all again. I'm going to right click and Appearance. I'm going to add a shadow layer. Let me just pull this over so you can see it. This is what pops up, and I'm just going to make that a color so that it'll pop out. And now you see that shadow layer. And I'm going to say OK. And now I'm going to select it all again and right click. And I'm going to add a shadow layer. But this time let me pick a different color so it really shows. I'm going to tell it to black it out so that you have that base back there for your box. And I'm going to make it slightly larger. There we go. And I'm going to say OK. How simple is that? All I have to do now is click on File and then Export. This box comes up. I'm going to name this Sharon. And I'm going to save it to my desktop. Save, and then you're going to get this pop-up. And you can show registration marks. You don't really need that. That's for print and cut, but you don't even have to do that for Design Space. If you just click or leave this click Design Space compatible, you're fine. It will import into Design Space the exact size that you have it here. So if you make it 6 inches, it's going to import into Design Space at 6 inches. I know Inkscape does not do that. It's free, but it doesn't do that. With Escal, it's around $40, but you get a $6.99 Dreaming Tree gift card with that. So that's how easy it is to do in Design Space. And you can also trace images just as easily. Such as, let's go ahead and trace. I believe I have an image. I'm going to choose an image I want in my downloads. I had a Nike. There it is. No, there it is. A Nike logo. So I'm going to open that. Okay. And it's going to ask me my color layers, everything. I'm not going to do anything except save that as an SVG. Okay. That's basically all I need to do because this is a simple image. And I'm going to save it as a Nike logo. And I'm going to save that on my desktop as well. Okay. But then I'm going to insert it in here. And that's really big. Don't need it that big. I'm going to hold my Shift key and make it a little smaller. You can adjust it in Design Space. So now let me just go ahead and file. I'm going to export this. And Sharon, I'll send this to you in email so that you'll have it. And I'm just going to probably replace it. Yeah. So you're going to end up with your name and the Nike logo for this box, Sharon. Since you were the first one here, you just got lucky today. So that's all there is to creating that. And I'm just going to say no because I don't want to save the changes. I have the SVG on my desktop, and I will send that out to you. So once you have that, you're just going to upload it into Design Space. And I'm going to go ahead and upload your name, Sharon, since I have it ready. And I am going to browse, go to my desktop, and there it is. And I'm going to choose that. And then all you have to do, it's an SVG, is just hit save. And then you'll want to name it and tag it, of course. I'm not, because I'm not going to keep this. And then just insert the image. And here you will have it. You'll just have to ungroup it. And I've already got my Nike one in here, so I'm just going to delete that. And I want to size this together. So I'm going to group that back. And I want to put this into this box. I just want to size this down where it fits on the lid of the box, staying within the score lines, okay? And I'm only looking at that back shadow layer. And I don't want a lot of little things, but I like those just 3. The way your name works out, it looks really cute. So now I'm going to ungroup it, and I'm going to move layer 1 and layer 2 out of the way. I am going to ungroup all the box stuff, and I'm going to slide the frame and the acetate window out of the way. I'm going to detach all of my score lines, and I am going to move the box piece to the front. Just the box piece. The score lines are still behind it. See them back there? We want them to stay. I'm going to undo so that stays right in place. And then I'm going to get my back layer of the Sharon here. If it will let me. Okay, let's just arrange. Move this backward one. Arrange. Move it backward again. In other words, you just want this. Let me do this the easy way. Now arrange and move it forward one. There we go. You want this sitting on top of the box. You want to put that exactly where you want it. Like I said, I don't want this little corner. I don't know if you guys can see that. I don't want that there, and I don't want that little piece. It makes it tough to cut, especially if you're putting it on chipboard. Not chipboard, but craft board or craft paper, the harder papers. They don't cut as well as your thinner papers. So I'm going to select those 2 pieces and weld. Okay. I'm going to arrange. I'm going to move it to the back. My score lines are in place. I'm going to select them both and attach. Now I have my box lid. My acetate will go back behind that, and my frame will go there to cover my acetate. And then I can use either 1 or 2 of these. Let me move that, arrange, move that to the back. You can use just 1 of these to go on top of the box, or you can double layer it. And I kind of like that one. This one I would probably use for something else later on, but it depends on the look and the paper that you're choosing as to how fat you want that to be. Okay, so that's how you customize that lid. You can do it also if you don't want a name by going into Design Space, and let's search happy birthday or get well, whatever occasion you have that you want to do something. If you look, most of these will have a shadow layer. I know this one does, it shows. This one does here. You can insert those images and do the same thing. So if you don't have a escal, or you don't want to do that, if you'll look, this one does have a slight shadow layer. You could weld that one in pretty good, I think, and then put the birthday on top. But this one is a true shadow layer where you can ungroup it. This layer would be your top 2 layers. This would be what you weld in. So you can make this box virtually anything that you want to make it, and do that with the window. Okay, and I am just going to delete that because I have a copy saved. Remember I said duplicate it? And we're just going to work on the solid one today. You can put together whatever one that you want. So we're going to make this out of like a little Nike birthday box, like an invitation. And I found this image. I don't even remember where I found it. But you saw I just Googled Nike and got this image. And I am going to cut the box in black. And I'm going to put this yellow on top. This piece I'm going to print and then cut, because it's just going to be easier. And the way most people are doing that, oops, I hate when my mouse does that. There we go. Trying to stretch that so you guys can see it. This is how they're laying those out, okay? This is the size you need, and it is 3.875 on your main square by 1.75, because when the lid goes on, you don't want it covering your label here, because your label is going to go on the end of the box, or your invite, however you want to do it. But this is what they're doing, and I'm not going to cut this piece today. I'm just showing you guys how to do it. You're going to lay it out how you want. They have a barcode, but I put a QR code in mine because I'm probably going to make this something about my business. So this will lead back to my website. You can type in QR code generator, and you guys can put whatever site you want in on there. If you have, there are some that will do personal things too, like to your Facebook page, or like if you have an event on your Facebook page, you can copy that URL and put it in there and create a QR code for it. So when they scan it, it goes to that event that you created in your Facebook page. So that's a pretty neat idea to do, I think, instead of just a barcode. But if you don't want to do that, you can just search for a barcode and stick one in there so that you can create your label. And all you're going to do is lay your squares out, make sure that you have them all even, put in your text, and I'm just going to do a small text here. I'm just going to copy what they got, a 10, and then 10 USA. That would be smaller, of course. So I'm going to pull this over here, and I'm just going to click on this, and I'm going to change it to white. And then I am going to go to Advanced, and I'm going to ungroup it to lines so that I can make this one smaller, because it's going to go on there teeny tiny, and you want this 10 to be bigger. And even though it's going to be small, we're just going to get it on there. And you're going to center all of that. And once you have all of that done, you're going to select it all, and you're going to flatten. And then that will print and cut and go on the end of your box. Does anybody have any questions? And I'm going to get rid of this, but you can look this up, shoebox invitations, things like that, and see all the various different ones. You can use your Nike thing here that you have to go here. You're just going to change the color of it and put it on the end. But you're just going to fill it out basically like that and flatten it, and then I would cut that myself out of sticker paper just to stick to the end of the box and make it easy. But today I'm not going to cut that. I'm just going to cut a white square. So let me unflatten. And if anybody wants to know the sizes of these little squares that I have, this one is 1.333 by 0.597. There's 2 of those. And this one is 2.736 by 0.458. This one that the age goes on is 0.958 by 0.889. Hi, Carol. And then my QR code is set at 0.792 by 0.759. And the main square is set at 3.875 by 1.75. So there are the measurements for that if you want that. I'm going to group and hide these so I don't have to do it again. And if you don't have a pen and paper to write it down, you can refer back to this and get it, or just message me and I'll give you the measurements. That's not a big deal. Okay? I'm just going to hide that right now. And I'm just going to cut the square, and we're just going to pretend that I put all of my information on there and did a print and cut. Yeah, this will be back, be playable back. Carol, you can play it back and get all the information. And I went over a little bit about how to customize the one with the window in it, and everything that you need to do. But this is basically, we're just going to click Make It. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this. And you guys, if you have any questions on your projects or anything like that, feel free to go ahead and ask those. There it is. I laid my white paper down somewhere. Please ask your questions. Anything you need to ask. It doesn't have to be about projects. Anything you guys want to talk about, we can talk about it. So the links to this video are always unlisted and private for you guys. So let's see. All right. And I'm going to pick medium cardstock here. Like I said, if I did this as print and cut, it would be a print and cut now, and I would be cutting this out of sticker paper, or like a label paper would be perfect for this. And I am going to put that, because that Nike logo, guys, is a copyrighted image. I'm not selling it by no means, but I will put an SVG of that in case anybody needs it into the design files for Patreons only. I will not make that public. For obvious reasons. But you guys will have access to the Nike logo if you don't have Escal, but it's a simple upload. You can go and upload it as well. Sometimes it'll just get fuzzy if you stretch it too big, so an SVG is always better. Let's see, and now let's cut the logo. Who has a maker? Anybody have a maker? I'm still waiting on my knife blade. That's why we're not doing a knife blade project today. But we will have some. I promise. Did you order your knife blade, Sharon? Mine takes about a week to get here because I live near Atlanta, so I have to wait on it to ship from Utah. The closer you live to Utah, the faster you're going to get it. Okay, so this box is really quick, guys. The hardest part of this is if you're not doing a fancy box. While that's cutting, I'm just going to swap over here to the project camera. If you're doing it something like this, they're going to get together real quick because you don't have that label to tinker with. But like I said, you can get a large or an extra large t-shirt in it if you roll it up. Because I got this one in there. I made these for my aunt. It's kind of wrinkly from being in there, but that was the foil brain cancer awareness shirt that I did this week. I did several of them this week. But they will fit in those boxes. And that SVG is also available on the website for you guys. This is your piece that would be print and cut. I am trying to pull this black paper. Black paper, for some reason, cuts different than everything else. And I'm going to let this last piece cut. We have no acetate or frame on this one because this is the solid top box. So this is the base. So we're going to set this to the side and we're going to go ahead and work on the base. This is, this paper here is the, I want to say Anna Griffin. Taking me just a second to find it here. I know I have it. Oh, I bet I know. Sorry about that. I had packed it up for a Hobby Lobby class that didn't happen because they scheduled it wrong. Well, I say I have it. This is the, I have laid it down and lost it right here in on my desk, believe it or not. Found it. This is the Deluxe Paper Rose Medley, and it is Anna Griffin. It's got some beautiful papers in it. The ones I used on that box, I really like this one too. And it's the green side. I really like those two together. If you flip it over and then the inside of your box would be roses. It's pretty cool. And then this one is solid on the back. I love that foil one. But it's got some really pretty papers in it. As you can see, I had to order some more because I've used it a lot. This is my favorite out of it, is the black and white stripe. It is a good weight. The deluxe papers from Cricut are a very good weight. This is just black basic cardstock from Hobby Lobby because if I'm making these like for an invitation or something of that sort, I'm not going to use my Cricut cardstock if it's going to children because, you know, they're going to be rough on it. They're probably going to destroy it in minutes. If it's going to an adult, then I'll use my good papers. But I'm just folding everything upwards on this. And then I have a tab here as well. And one here. And then the tabs that are on the sides of the box, fold them towards you, opposite of your, you're going to valley fold those, mountain fold the rest of the tabs. Okay, so you have your box. Everything is valley folded except those two mountain tabs right there. Then, if I can remember how I did this, you're going to start with your side tab on the ends, and you're going to make sure that they stay square. And that's going to take just a second to dry. I'm going to work on the other side while that dries. That way I'm not putting stress on it and moving it around trying to do the other side. And like I said, I put my corners flush, and then I put my finger and my thumb and I pull this bottom up so that I can keep this corner good and square, guys. I've got glue on my hands already. There we go. I'm a messy gluer. And then you're going to do the same on the other side. This box, like I said, it's really quick to go together. Nothing really complicated about it. Your hardest part is going to be laying out your little label and getting it ready for print and cut, because you have to put all that information on it and then you have to print it. So that's the longest part of this box. I really designed this for Kenyatta Pettyway. She was needing one of these for a birthday party to make the little shoebox. And I just did mine differently because I knew she was doing one. But I wanted you guys to see how they went together for the actual shoebox part. These tabs on the end go on last. So you're just going to, you can fold it both ways. Put glue on this tab and each of the little tabs on the end there. And you're going to fold that in. And I start in the middle and start pulling mine out to the corners. And then make sure that you give it a good rub in that corner to make a good crease with that tab. You don't want that tab stuck over here on the side and not give you a good square corner. So make sure that you guys get that good and square in there, because that little tab can get stuck over here and then you won't get a good seal. It'll keep pulling up on your edge piece here. And I'm sorry if we're buffering a little bit. It's Saturday. YouTube gets pretty busy. And then same thing on this side. Just going to fold it in, and I start in the middle and then give it a press down in that corner to get a good corner from that tab. And then these two tabs go over that. And again, start in the middle and press outward. And I'm just going to let that sit and dry. I kind of bent my cardboard there. This cardstock, like I said, is a little flimsier than the Cricut. But it all works. If it's an invitation, then that's all you need. And then you have your lid. So you're going to fold, mount and fold all of your tabs except your little ones. Does anybody have any questions? Have you had any problems with any projects this week or this month? Anything you need solved? So I've done all of those, and then again, these tabs, let's see, the ones to the inside of the box are also mount and fold. The ones to the outside are valley fold. And it really doesn't matter if you fold them wrong, you can fold them back the other way. And trying to decide which one. Same thing. On the end, you're going to start on your end tabs, just that little tab right there. And bring that in and keep it square. And I'm going to kind of work opposite and give it time to the glue to get a good hold. So everybody's doing good on their projects. What have you guys worked on this week? Okay, now that that piece is in, you're going to go, and this is just what kind of reinforces the box a little bit. You're going to do your side tabs, because what we've basically done when we're done doing this box, we have glued the ends to the side, strengthening those corners. Now we're gluing the sides to the end by doing the sides next. And again, start in the middle, give it a good rub down, and then make sure that that corner is good and square. If you can see, I'm just pushing that in just to make sure that it sits flush. And you don't have to be really neat here because it's gluing against itself. Start in the middle. And then the ends here is just a little reinforcement for the ends, and it kind of covers the tabs that we just did. Because we have that lift tab on there. Oops, and I did it anyway. I said I wasn't going to do that. Actually, you should be putting glue on the inside around your little tab so that you don't have glue in there. But I'm using art glitter glue. It'll dry clear. But if you're using tape or something like that, it will be sticky, so you want to make sure that you go around it. And then we have our decoration pieces. And you could run this through your Xyron if you wanted to. Just going to place that on the top. And then I am going to put my lid on there before I do my label, just to make sure you can see my glue in there. Such a messy glue. This would be my print and cut label. And that is covering the whole end of the box, guys. So make sure that you shorten that. I told you measurements were... See, this is my test cut. Let me finish that. I need to shorten that. So you may have to slightly adjust your little black boxes that I gave you measurements on. I'm going to take this down to, I don't know, 3.75 instead of 875. And that should give it a good... Because you're looking at taking off maybe 1/8 of an inch. It's not going to be much. And this may not be square, but you get the idea. You want to have a little area on each side. I will test cut that again and make sure. Let's see. That looks good. This is measuring at 3.75 exactly. Just so you guys can see. So make sure that you take that piece down to 3.75 instead of 3.875. And it'll fit perfectly for your print and cut. And then that's where your, oops, well, I can switch the lid around. Make sure you get it on straight. So that's the way your label will go on the box there. And then you have your little Nike box. I think I like it, yeah, this way better. That way they're looking at the end and the Nike logo goes that way. Hi, Harold. Yeah, it's a good sturdy little box. I made this out of flimsy cardstock and it still has, I mean, I'm putting pressure on that. It's not collapsing. So, I mean, it'll work even with the window in it, that they do well. So, that's basically how you do this box, guys. Does anybody else have any questions or anything? The link for Escal. Let's see if it'll post. It may not post here, Sharon, but if it doesn't, I will post it over in the Patreon group for you. See if it'll allow you to click on that. But you should get a Dreaming Tree gift card with that. I believe it's $6.99. Sometimes they change it up, and it should be on sale. I think it's going to be around $42, $43 for it. But it is well worth it. It's so easy to use. Great, great, great. Yeah, it's really, really, really easy to use. You shouldn't have any problems with it whatsoever. I called you Harold, but is that Keita? Or is Harold actually here? Yes, Sharon, they do have tutorials. That's okay. That's okay, Keita. I just wanted to make sure it was you. I didn't want to keep calling you Harold. But yes, there are tutorials for it, Sharon, and I have a few that I have done as well on how to do the name shadowing. So you won't have to come back to this video every time. I have some on tracing, some on doing the name and doing knockouts, all that kind of stuff. So there are tons out there. If you just figure out what you want to do, you can also do, let's see if I can remember how to do it. I'll show you guys a few things that you can do with the Escal. Some of you that just came in, if I can get my mouse to bring me my Escal. There we go. Let me transfer over. Okay. Sometimes Shortcuts a Lot wants to be a little timid about starting. When you open it up, let me shrink this so I don't mess up and close myself out of it completely. When you open it, this is going to pop up. This is your library and your shapes and things like that. But your text tools are phenomenal. If you want to do text on a curve, you hold down on it with your mouse and you see this little pop-up here. You can select, you have to hold down your mouse and select type on an arch, which we have curved text in Design Space now, but before we didn't. But if you wanted to type happy birthday on an arch, it would give you that perfect arch. Just remember to click your selection tool before you can try to move it or something. It's just way simple, way easy. It's automatically done. You can do a vertical. So if you want to type something vertically, you can do that a little bit easier. You also have all of these text tools up here. You can 3D rotate a text. You can do barrel distortion, canned, knockout. You can do a lattice, a line fill. There are just so many things. You also have your rhinestone tool in here. Your shadow layers, title crawl. Title crawl, I don't know if you guys know what that is. You know, yesterday was May the 4th be with you. You know how the Star Wars title slants? That's title crawl. Let's just do another one just to show. I'm just going to go back to the normal text tool here, if it'll let me. Let me undo. I may have frozen up my Escal because I have so much on. No, I didn't. Here we go. I forgot to. I had a pop-up. My pop-ups are on my main window. This is my secondary screen that you guys are seeing. So that's why sometimes I don't see something. They is not wanting to come out of there for me. Let me move it. There we go. As I told you, you have to select everything or it won't let you get it. There we go. And you'll learn things just by playing around in here. Let me take this to my regular text tool. There we go. And type Star Wars. Let's add a shadow layer. And let's make that. That's why I say these little pop-ups come up on my main screen. Let's just do a color layer so you guys can see it. That's not a good color. Let's do red. There. Now you can select this by going to your select tool at the top left, select it, go to effects, and do a title crawl. Ta-da! There's your Star Wars effect. That's how easy it is. And then you can change the angle and the height, all of that stuff in your auto preview. You can do all of that. If you're happy with it, that's where you are. And it'll go and put the colors in that you had. How easy was that? And you can center things over here. Here's your alignment tools. They work the same as Design Space. They're just symbols instead of words. So it's really easy to use. You can nudge it, like I'm going to nudge that over. How many times have you needed to nudge something just a little bit and you couldn't get it to line up quite where you wanted it? You can do it in here. So, I mean, there are tons of text tools in here, guys, in your effects. You've even got a puzzle generator where you can turn this into a puzzle. How cool is that going to be for your knife blade and Design Space and your maker? You can tell it how big you want it. If you want that puzzle to be a 6" by 6". And how many columns and puzzle pieces you want in there. If you want 8 columns and 8 rows. And we just turned this whole thing into a puzzle. And that's just a 12 by 12 square, I believe, or 6 by 6. I don't know what I put it in there as. But you can just have that and then go and put your image in there. And just overlay that onto your image and have it cut. Escal is a wonderful, wonderful tool to have. It just supplements. It's easy to use. Like I said, a lot of this stuff, if you're familiar with Design Space, you're familiar with it. It just looks different. Here's your align, rotate. You can flip. We have those in Design Space. So, I mean, it's just a matter of going here and playing around. Union up here at the top in your path. Union is weld. Okay? That's a weld. I don't know if I can do this one in here. You see here, these are grayed out because I can't do it. Front minus back, back minus front. That basically, let me just undo all of this. Get rid of it. I'm going to get rid of that top layer. I don't need it. And I'll show you what that means. Let me put in a circle. Always hold your shift key when you're changing something unless you change the size over here. Because if you don't, it will skew it. Okay? It won't be a perfect circle. All right, I've covered that Star Wars up. Okay? I'm going to draw drag a box around everything. I'm going to go up here to my path, and I want the front, which is the front layer, which is my circle, because we have Star Wars behind that. So Star Wars is my back layer. So I want the front piece. I want a circle with Star Wars cut out of it. I want front minus back. Ta-da! There you go. I can layer this and I can break it apart. And when you break apart, there's your circle, there's your Star Wars. And now all these are single pieces. And that's what break apart does. It's kind of like ungroup, but not really. Yeah, and you'll learn what you can break apart, what you can't break apart, things like that. How easy is that? You can type, again, you will learn what all of these do. You can type on a path. And since my path is a circle, it's going to continue around that circle with everything I type. So, I mean, there are just tons of stuff. If you put a heart here and type on a path, guess what shape you're getting? It's going to type on a path of a heart. So, I mean, there's just a bunch of stuff you can do, and that's why I say a lot of people say, well, you can use Inkscape. Inkscape is not as easy to use. It is free, but it even complicates me. So, if you have questions, if you get Escal and you have questions and you need help, ask me. If I don't know how to do it, we'll find out together. So does anybody have any questions? And I'm just backspacing here to delete that. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And like I said, if I want to take this from here into Design Space, it's as simple as going to File at the top of the page here, Export, and it's going to come up. It's going to save it as an SVG. I'm just going to name it. I'm going to leave this. You're going to decide where you want to download it. Click Save. And then you're going to get your export option is going to pop up. And it's already going to come up Design Space compatible. And all you do is say OK, and it saves it to whatever location you told it to save at. Very simple, very easy. If you want to continue working in this and you don't get to finish, all you have to do is save your project. Up there again, go to the File and Save. And it's going to save it in Craft Edge. Right here, when you install it, it gives you a Craft Edge folder, and it puts everything in there for you. And that way you can come back and work on it some more. Yeah, Kita, it's a great compatibility tool to Design Space. It fills in the gaps for a lot of people have a silhouette and they say it does more. With this, you can do everything that they do in their software. It's just easier to understand, and you can just upload it right into Design Space. It's no different than uploading a PNG or an image that you found on Google. You're just going to create it and make it the way you want to make it. Let me show you guys real quick. Oops, I shrunk myself. how to trace an image. It's very easy. Let's see. I showed this in a video. Let's go and look up. Well, let's look up Hello Kitty. How about that? Say you have something that you want, and you go to your images, and I want this. It's not a PNG, it's a JPEG if you look down here. So I am going to download the image. Okay, I am going to get a new project, and no, I'm not going to. Yes, I am going to save that. That's my private one, so let me just save that. Here's a new project. I'm going to go to Upload, Upload Image, Browse, or let's just go to my downloads. There it is, and I am going to just drag and drop it in. Now I have to clean it up and do all of that. That is really not what I'm looking for, because that is one single layer. I'm going to end up having to do it as a print and cut, or I'm just going to get the outer shape if I do it this way. So I have to go in and I have to clean all of that up, and then I'm still going to only get a print and cut or the shape. All I'm going to get. But if I take that image into Escal, let me just do a new project here. If I take and I say trace, this box is going to pop up. I'm going to choose an image. I'm going to go to my downloads. And where is that Hello Kitty? There it is. And I'm going to select it. I'm going to open it. Right here I'm going to choose, I think 5 colors are enough. You can go 6 if you want. It's just, the colors are the number of layers you're going to get, guys. Okay? I like to do the nodes up high so that I don't lose any detail. Okay? And then I'm going to say, save as an SVG. You okay and bring it into Escal if I want to do further stuff to it. I think it came in there. I don't know where it is. It's probably so large that it's not showing. But anyway, we've already saved it. So let's go to, I think it was on my desktop. Let me double check. Yes. I'm going to cancel this one. I'm going to upload an image. I'm going to browse. I'm going to go to my desktop where I saved it. There it is right there. I'm going to choose it. And look, we have an SVG. I'm going to insert it. Let me make this smaller so you guys can see it. Now it doesn't have the background, but notice that I can go into Escal and I can do a shadow layer. I can right click on this, do appearance, do a shadow layer, and add a shadow back there. Okay? But I have 3 layers. I can ungroup, and I have all my colors. How cool. Very, very, very easy to do. I don't know what I did here. Let me trace that again and show you guys how to do a shadow layer on an image so that you have something to refer back to. Choose my image, my downloads, right here, open. I'm just going to say, okay, I'm not going to worry with the nodes and stuff for this one. That may be one of those weird ones that's not going to let you bring it in to do a shadow layer. But you can also upload it to Design Space and get your shadow layer just by saving it as a cut image. And then size it. No, I don't want to save this. But that's how easy that is. That may be one of those weird images because it's white on the background. It's not reading the white. But you can bump it up a color because I only saved 3 colors. You can bump it up a couple of colors and get it too. Okay, guys, that concludes today's Ask Me Anything for all my Patreon supporters. I greatly appreciate all you guys. Thank you so very, very much. If you have questions about anything we covered today or any other time, remember, just come over to the group and ask. You can always message me as well. Does anybody have any questions about anything else? All right, guys, we'll see you guys later. Thank you for joining me today, and we'll see you next month, first Saturday, 1 o'clock, and cover whatever you guys want to cover. Anything special you want to cover, just message me, let me know, and we'll go from there. Yes, you can take JPEGs into there, Kita, and you can work on them. They're a little more difficult. To me, I still find the PIC SVG easier on some JPEGs, but you can just, the simple JPEGs like that. Now, like a picture of my brother, this one here, that you guys saw is that might be a little more difficult in SCAL. But simple images, simple JPEGs, easy to do. So you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next month. I'll see you throughout the month in the other videos and in the groups. Y'all have a wonderful day.